or anybody else.
John has made not to.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was that?
I said John Davis has made it very clear to me to definitely, like when I was wrestling, he was a big proponent of be careful what you say in front of people because you never know who they know and what they know. And he's like, even if you feel strongly about what you're thinking, do not say it.
Well, I don't know anybody, so.
Well, the people, and that's the thing, but people, you do this and you interview a lot of people, so people watch what you're doing. You don't want to say stuff that anybody can construe and make it more than it is. So like,
yeah.
I'm usually on my best behavior when I'm talking in front of people. Now, if you get me and it's just me and you in a corner over there talking and we're just bullshitting, there's no telling what I'll say. But like, I'm not going to say something to affect you or us.
So in order for us to actually have a chat in a corner, you're going to have to like probably say hi to me the next time I see you instead of just stare at me awkwardly and hope for the best.
I was just hoping for the best. Right. I was like, man, maybe Val will come over here and talk to me. It's like, you see her beautiful hair and like you never came over there. And I was like, maybe I'm the awkward, ugly kid. Like maybe she don't like guys with tattoos. I don't know. And beards.
No, I'm pretty heavy with guys with tattoos and beards. Much to my dismay.
Oh,
but
others are bad, and then there's some of us that are good at being bad.
And I appreciate apparently all types. And welcome everybody to the Stack. Chit chat already in progress. I have Chuck here with Wrestling Over Everything. I apparently looked at him Mania weekend, but did not go over and say hello.
I thought I was gonna have to see if they had like a pint of Rocky Road ice cream and like a couple of airplane bottles of Jack Daniels, and I was gonna go sit in that weirdly placed spare ring that GCW had on the other side of the arena. I thought I was going to go get in the corner and lay in fetal position and eat ice cream and sip like a crazy person, like sip out of the airplane bottles until you came over there and saw me. But I couldn't find ice cream. I had airplane bottles, but I could not find ice cream.
I had ice cream in my Airbnb and I could have brought it if I would have talked to you.
I had an Airbnb that I literally saw the inside of it with my eyes open for a total of like 10 minutes. The rest of it, like I was at GCW. I don't understand how people do this on like an every year basis, especially the wrestlers. Like I know how hectic it was for us, but like the people that are working the shows, like I don't know how they do it. Because I didn't get any of that. Like I didn't get no sleep. I was running off like 4 hours of sleep when we left Dallas. I was like, this is crazy.
I mean, as a fan who just attended shows, I had a blast. I went to all the shows. I went to all the GCW shows except for the Lucha show. That's when I went to the No Peace show. And then I went to 2 more shows on Sunday out in Arlington.
So we did all the GCW shows. We did the No Peace show. We did Soar for Sermo.
Okay.
And New Texas. And I'm looking at stuff Sunday morning, and I was like, maybe we could. No, I want to go home. I want to see like a normal sleep schedule instead of like 4 to 5 hours over a weekend. Like I want to see my 4 hours a night. Like I need some type of sleep. I slept in the ring. Like Nino like looked over and was like, "There's people here to buy stuff." I'd been asleep for like 10 minutes. We left my oldest kid at the venue. When I say we, I mean like Nina said that he left with Paula. He didn't leave with Paula. He was asleep on the other side of the ring. So he called me like 15 minutes away from the venue. He's like, how am I getting home? I was like, you've already left. What do you mean? He's like, I'm sitting here by the ring, Dad. Shit.
And you're like, well, I guess you're calling an Uber, kid. No.
Yeah. I won parent of the parent of the weekend. Left my kid at the GCW show asleep beside the ring.
I'm sure he was fine.
He was. He
was fine.
He was awesome.
It was fine.
Yeah.
No weirdos there or anything.
No, not at a wrestling show. No weirdos.
Completely weirdo free zone.
Yeah.
But I had a blast weekend. I went to 14 shows between Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. In my head, I'm like, I feel like I could have gone to more, but I had fun.
Yeah, it was a blast. It was the first, I've been to Mania. I went to 30 in New Orleans, but I didn't do any of the the indie stuff. We just went down. Me and my oldest, we went down and did the show and then came home. We did Mania and came home. So I didn't get to see any of the craziness of what all the indie shows were. My wife was in nursing school at the time, so I couldn't be away from the house for that long to do all that. But it was cool. But this was a crazy experience.
Yeah, I went to Mania weekend in Tampa last year. And then I went to the Collective when it was in Indiana in 2020, not during Mania weekend because there was no Mania because COVID. And then I went to Mania in 2017 in Orlando, but I just went to I went to one random indie show. I couldn't tell you what it was or anything really about it. I met Cody Rhodes, and I think Conan was on the show. That's what I remember. And then me and my sister went to WrestleCon, and we went to Mania.
I met Conan when I was 10, 11, 12, something like that. They were doing a house show here in Mississippi at the Coliseum in Jackson, and he was doing signings at a trailer, a lot that sells double wide trailers.
Nice.
And just this random place, he was sitting in there selling, and I walked in. He was the biggest man I've ever been around in my life. This was during the middle of the Wolfpack stuff. So he was way bigger in real life than he ever looked like he was on TV. And I'm just sitting here next to this dude. I'm like, you are gigantic. You could eat. And my friends. I was like, you were so big.
Peak K-Dog days?
Yes.
Hell yeah. When I was, Mania weekend, I think it was Thursday. I don't remember. The days kind of blur together. But Dolph Ziggler did a comedy thing.
Yeah.
And me and my friend went, and it was a thing that I did, but he made a joke about meeting fans in Walmart, and I laughed so hard because I met Dolph Ziggler in a Walmart. In 2017 when I went to Mania, he was doing a signing in a Walmart. So
yeah, that's crazy.
I went.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Right? Why would I not go do that?
Okay.
So, are you going to Mania weekend next year? Have you decided yet?
Decided. With it being in for me to go to LA, I would have to take my entire family because none of us had been past Texas. So I'd have to take all 5 of us because my wife was like, "You're not going to Los Angeles without that's not happening." I looked at Paula and I'm like, "I guess you're watching the kids," and she's like, "That means I'd have to take all 6 of us to Los Angeles, and I'd have to take off 2 weeks to drive because I'm not getting on the airplane. They'd have to get me real drunk to get me on the airplane. And I don't know if I'm gonna get real drunk to get on the airplane. But cheers. Thank you for letting me be on tonight.
By all means, take all the
Wrestling over everything.
liquid you need. I have definitely flown more during the pandemic than I had in the past 10 years of my life put together. So
yeah.
And very fortunate, I have yet to get COVID.
Really?
Yeah. And like I said, I went to the Collective in Indiana. I went to Mania in Tampa. I went to an ICW show and an OP show in Florida, like February of last year. I went to Philadelphia in October and went to a bunch of wrestling. Like, I have been all over the place and I have traveled a lot and I still haven't gotten COVID. And it definitely makes me think I'm a mutant.
My whole family's had it. Like, that's kind of where I don't know if you meant to do this or not, or you did your research or not, but that's kind of where our t-shirt company began, was after, like, during COVID. My mom got it in October of 20, and she got real sick, had to go to the hospital. She was super dehydrated. It caused her to get pneumonia and have heart failure, and she passed away. And on Halloween of and so, like, after that, me and John had been kicking around the idea of doing the t-shirts. And well, first it was me and Ray Fury. We had been kicking around trying to do a t-shirt company, and whatever, it didn't work out where he could do it at the time. So I hit up John. Me and John were throwing ideas and stuff back and forth, and Fury had said something about wanting to do a shirt that was like wrestling over everything with his logo or something on it a couple of years before. And I was like, look, man, let's go do this. Let's do this t-shirt thing, man. Let's wrestling over everything could be the name of the company. Could be dope. And he was like, no, man, I just, I don't have time for that part of my life right now. Like, I don't need to add something else to me. So I called John, and John was like, hell yeah, let's use that name. So I asked Fury. He's like, yeah, of course, go use it. And we started the company to, like, honor my mom. Like, John was my mom's favorite wrestler. She wouldn't even drive 15 minutes to see me wrestle. But if John was in the state of Mississippi, it didn't matter where he was at. My mom was getting in his car, and somebody was going to drive my mom, or she was going to drive herself wherever he was. She let him stay at her house. She didn't let nobody stay at her house. After my stepdad passed away, like, there wasn't nobody staying at the house except for John Davis. She loved her some John Davis. If there's any in wrestling land that can tell me some awful stories about John Davis, I would love to hear them. I'm looking for this unicorn. Everybody tells me it doesn't exist. John really is an amazing human being, and I love him to death. But somebody has to have something bad to say about him. I don't know anybody in the world that doesn't have one person that doesn't dislike him. Like, oh, I don't like that guy. Somebody out there doesn't like him, and I'm gonna find that person. So if you're out there, please message me. Wrestling Over Everything Apparel on Instagram. Please message me.
Sorry. Well, I will say, John Davis, former guest of the Stack, super nice guy, except for that he tried to make me fight somebody, and I don't really fight people. So other than that,
well, who did he try to make you fight?
He was trying to make me fight somebody on the ICW roster, and I was like, sir, those are all deathmatch people. I look like this. I was like, no, that's literally, I've never been in a fight. I'm never going to be in a fight. That's just not who I am as a person.
Right.
But he insists that I need to fight somebody, and that's just not going to occur.
So I have a sponsored athlete that is on those shows. She wrestles on them sometimes, Masha. Maybe we could do You know, Masha versus Val.
No,
What do you mean, no?
Masha could kick my ass without even trying.
I mean, but it would be. I mean, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be fun for you.
No,
But it,
surely
but
not.
John thought it was a great idea. I'm just running with John's idea.
You two are terrible.
See, I found somebody in wrestling that said he was terrible. Yes. What life.
um, for the record, I don't think John is terrible. I think he's very sweet. From the little bit I've been around him, I met him at SCI last year. He was very nice. Oh, I forgot I went to SCI last year too.
He's a really, really good dude.
But he did want me to fight somebody. I am not going to fight anybody. I just want to reiterate this. I am not fighting anybody ever. I'm not a fighter. I'm a talker myself out of my situation. Or if my best friend is a fighter. She'll fight somebody.
Well,
but I don't need to.
Oh, okay. What if she did what if she fought for you? Like she could be your heat seeker and she takes all of it, come in for the pin.
I mean, she probably could, but I wouldn't put that on her, you know?
I got you. Well, I'm trying to help both of you, as in John and you. I'm trying to fulfill everybody's dreams.
It's not my dream to fight anybody. I don't know why people keep insisting that I do this.
You're a wrestling fan, but you don't want to wrestle?
No.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm with it.
I mean, I've been a wrestling fan since as long as I can remember, but the desire to wrestle has never come through my body.
I'm with you. All right, I won't try to do it anymore. I'm sorry.
I appreciate that, but there's also a part of me that just doesn't believe you.
I will never mention you fighting anybody else again unless John Davis is around. That's the only time. I bet.
I'm sorry. Do you want me to fight John Davis? I'm not going to do that either.
Great. Like
no.
Nina would train you. I mean, like, or she can get someone to train you. She knows everybody in wrestling, so she can get somebody. And then, like, she could give you all the secrets of, like, John's, like, weakness, which is his pinky toe. I didn't tell you this, but all you have to do is grab him by his pinky toe, and he'll tap out immediately. But, like, that's all you have to do. That's not true either. I told you I was going to tell you all the secrets. I was telling all the secrets. I don't have any because nobody tells me shit. But, like, that's the truth, though. His weakness is his pinky toe.
I will file that away for later on the off chance that you try to make him fight me. Because that man, large and strong, could easily eat me. And I just don't want that in my life.
I wrestled him once, and I still see stars from the clothesline he hit me with.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think about that and it like hurts my chest.
He caught me right here. Right in the bottom of the jaw.
Oh.
It was awful.
That sounds legitimately terrible.
It legitimately was. I spit blood everywhere and my kids started crying. It was great. He thought I was dying. He's like, my Uncle John's killing my dad. It was great.
You made your kids cry?
Yes. Yeah. I told you I won Father of the Year at Mania by leaving him at the Collective. Like, this has been a long running tradition with me and him.
I can't wait till your kid gets a little bit older and has to take it to the ring.
He already thinks he's ready. He's 14, so he's in that weird stage where he thinks like I'm a grown man and I can beat my dad's ass, but he hasn't tried it yet. And I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for him to do it. Like he's gonna catch me when I'm asleep.
Well, I have faith in your kid, And I hope that that goes well for both of you. So how did you decide to get into the wrestling business? Because you did wrestle for a while. It doesn't sound like you still wrestle.
I started in 17, and no, that's not right. I started in 13 and wrestled till 18. I had so I got like I was like anybody else that from Mississippi that watched TBS and WCW. Like we had this little TV and it had buttons on it that you had to walk up and press to change the channels because it didn't have a remote. This is how old this TV was. Only had 13, and 13 was TBS. We watched the Braves game, and then we would watch WCW. And like I started watching wrestling with my dad before I was born. He was a deputy sheriff, and he would do security for all the wrestling shows and stuff when Mid South would come through the Delta of Mississippi. And wrestling, the love for wrestling was born through that. It was like I really started. I started wrestling because I just wanted to like close that gap. Like I lost my dad when I was 11, so I didn't get to have like a like a like a goodbye or whatever. And so like this is kind of closed the chapter, you know, like being in wrestling and like having a wrestling match and doing something that me and him love to do together. It kind of closed that chapter, and it was just I just wanted to ref a match. That's all I cared about. But like I got in the ring and refed a match, and I was like, nah, I want to wrestle. I was training to wrestle while I was refing because the company I work for, he would not let us ref if we couldn't take bumps. Like he was like, you have to be able to wrestle to ref. So shout out to Jay Andrews, Pro Wrestling Giga. But he would so I was already training, and I was like, I kind of got bit by the bug. So that's where I got started, and this is going to be the most country thing you've probably ever heard in your life. But we trained in this small little community called Pulaski, Mississippi. We trained in his front yard in front of his double wide trailer under a pine tree. So, like, it would be in Mississippi. Like when it says it's like 95 degrees outside, it really means asshole of Satan. That's what that means. That's the temperature of it. And
I'll remember that conversion.
Yes, that is the same thing. Over 90 degrees in Mississippi equals the asshole of Satan. So we were either getting bit by mosquitoes, getting pine tar dropped all over us, or it was raining on us. So we were training in a wet, nasty ring, or a pine tar covered ring, or getting eaten by mosquitoes. And sometimes all three happened at one time.
The trifecta.
So that's where I trained. And I got pictures of me like standing on the top rope, and there's a pine tree right beside me. And I'm like this is the most country thing. Anyway, so we you know, like you get that little bug in your ear. So we wrestled. I was in a tag team called the Abbey Street Boot Boys. That's really all I really did. I didn't really do singles. Once we got out of the phase of like hide your face, you can't wrestle. I don't want to ruin you. I want you to be able to come out of the mask and wrestle as who you are. So, and I always went by Chuck because I was like, look, if somebody calls me, if my wrestling name is Mike, and someone calls me Chuck, I'm going to turn around and look. I was like, my wrestling name has to be Chuck. I can't do this. I can't have two names. Just call me Chuck. So we wrestled all over the South, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Florida, for about 5 years. We met John at this random, awful venue in Mississippi that was like an old church gym. The church was not being used very much, and so we got the gym. I don't remember all the steps to it, but I went to the pastor and begged him to let us wrestle in the gym. And I was like, look, we'll give you money off the shows and pay for the lights. We brought people to we brought members to the church through us wrestling. So like, it was a win for him. He was like, this is awesome. I'm getting free membership out of people coming to watch wrestling. And so we were there, and John did a seminar, and I was like, hey, John, don't you want a little human being to annoy the shit out of you for the rest of your life? And he was like, sure. And he lifted that arm up. So I just got under that tree, and I was like, hey, buddy. And ever since, like, friends, my little babies, I've got a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old. They make videos and send them to John, telling them how much they love him and stuff. And they call him Uncle John. Like, he's been family ever since we met him. My oldest does not do that. He sends him messages and is like, with all due respect, because John screwed up. He told an 8-year-old kid, as long as you say with all due respect, you can say anything you want to after. Well, my 8-year-old at the time, he's 14 now, so he ran with it. And he's ran with it. So he'll, with all due respect, you're a piece of shit, John. And John's like, I guess you said with all due respect, I've got to eat this. So like, that's and ever since, like, John's been family to us. We've got matching tattoos that say Ohana. Like, that's my dude.
So cute.
That dude too, but he's my dude.
Aw, that's so cute.
Love story. It's like a weird love story. Sorry. I do this every time. I just told you I was trying to find somebody to talk bad about him, and then I've spent the last 10 minutes putting them over.
I mean, still a better love story than Twilight.
Yes, it is.
That's adorable.
Yes. Like this big cuddly bear now. Like, when you look at John now, you're like, oh, he's intimidating, and he might kill me, but I can hug him too.
I don't know that I'd go that far.
Well, you should try it next time you see him. Just give him a hug.
He'll just like suplex me out of nowhere.
I'll
be just a broken heap laying on the ground.
It only hurts for a second.
For you.
You'll be all right.
I have good insurance, but I don't know if I have that good of insurance. I mean, I would maybe attempt a hug. I am a hugger. It's sort of my thing. But I would probably preface it with, with all due respect, like, is it cool if I hug you?
Oh, that's phenomenal.
I am actually, if I ever see him again, going to do that. Yes.
I think everybody that's watching this should say with all due respect, and then say whatever they want to and see what happens. See if he lives the gimmick. See if it's real.
Or see if he eats you out of your shoes.
Yes. See if you die.
It really embodies the phrase, like, fuck around and find out. Like,
yes. That is exactly him.
I don't know that I want to find out. I've seen him wrestle before. It's legitimately terrifying.
Oh, I know. I sat there at him and I was like, what have I got myself into? I am fixing to die tonight.
I mean, you were smart though. You made friends with the biggest guy in the room, so
what you do?
Yeah. Or so I have heard. So who? I'm sorry, what were you saying?
That's basically how I got into wrestling. Like, it was a thing that we, like, I always did as a kid, and but like when my dad passed, it was the way I needed to have a closing chapter on it.
So, who has had the most influence on you both in and out of wrestling? It sounds like maybe, like your mom and dad and John.
Yeah.
Is there any other sleepers in there?
Like on a personal level, that it's just it would be my mom and my dad uh and John, like that. That's because John, John's big thing was always to leave things better than you found it. And he was like, I don't care if it's real life wrestling, I don't care what it is. You always leave things better than you found it. So like I've always lived my life to since he told me that, I've lived my life trying to do that. No matter what I do, like in my real job, when I'm t-shirt stuff, friendships, family, I want to leave the person that I'm in contact with better than I found them. So like any type of relationship, that's my goal. So yeah, I guess it would be those three. My kids have impacted me more than anything. My wife has made me grow up so much. I was a rebel without a cause until we got married, and she kind of knocked sense into me, or I saw what I was supposed to be doing as a man that I wasn't doing before I got married. So I mean, those five or six.
Aw, that's so cute. So, what are your future plans and dreams? Just, either within your personal life or your professional life with wrestling over everything. Like, what are your goals and what keeps you motivated to keep doing it?
I want to. I eventually want to have a school so that John can train the next generation of wrestlers. If you talk to anybody in the business, they will tell you that there's not many more people that are more knowledgeable or more in tune with what wrestling is than John. Like, I would love to have a school where John can teach the stuff that he does psychology wise, the stuff that he's taught me to the next generation. I would love to run a promotion, like have wrestling over everything as a promotion. And it'd be just an apparel company, t-shirt company. Like I wanted, the other reason besides like my mom, like I wanted to do this so that I could get back to the locker room feel of being around the boys and girls. Like I missed that part from when I retired. So like this way it got me back into wrestling where I'm not taking bumps. That is awful. And I don't want to do that anymore. But this got me back to where I'm around everybody. And I'm getting to meet new people that I never met before. It's brought people in my life that I would have never met without starting this t-shirt company.
That's awesome. Like, that's one of the things that I really loved about getting into professional wrestling and independent professional wrestling specifically, the way that I have, is just that I love meeting new people. I love talking to people, except for you, apparently.
Because I'm just a weird guy in the corner.
If you would have shrieked at me, I would have come over.
Should have just blew you from the merch booth.
I mean, I was telling Christopher earlier, like I was like meeting people, I was like shrieking like a barn owl at people. I was like, I don't even care. Like, whatever. Mania weekend, YOLO, let's go. I don't know. So,
Oh, yeah.
but I hope that I run into you again sometime, where I can actually like come and say hi.
I'm trying to get more shows going north. Uh, so that's a possibility for sure. Like I want to get to places we've never been. Like we were counting it a couple of weeks ago. We have been to 17 different states since January 1st.
Of this year?
Since this year.
Jiminy Christmas.
Yeah, we've been to 17 different states. And that's not the ones that we've been to multiple times. That's 17 different states. We've either been on wrestling shows or driven through those. So like we've done shows in Georgia, Tennessee, Florida, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, Arkansas, Indiana, and then we've got 3 shows in Kansas at the end of the month, and we have 1 in Jersey at the end of the month.
We're in Kansas.
It's Journey Pro.
Okay, you're going to Journey. Okay.
On the 28th and 29th, we're going to be at Journey Pro. And then Paula is going to the one on the 30th, and it's a company that she told me she was going to. I didn't talk to him, so I don't know what the name of the company is, and I feel awful. She's over there pulling it up on her phone to hand it to me so I can read it to you because I don't know. Will you give it to me? It is American Wrestling Revolution.
Where is that at?
Where's that? What? Hoisington? That sounds like a berry you make wine out of. I don't drink wine, but that sounds like something they would make wine out of.
I might be at the Journey Pro show on, there's one like a Thursday night and a Friday night, right?
If you go, Paula will be at both.
I'm thinking about going to the one on Thursday. I can kind of maybe swing it. So it's only like 2.5 hours for me.
Do it. Paula will be there for sure.
Hell yeah. I might.
And then we got some friends that live in New York, and they're going to go to the one in Jersey for us, Invictus.
Okay. Yeah.
They're going to, of course.
We've sponsored them before.
Oh, awesome. We, just by myself, like they're like my real job. I'm 24/7 because I'm supervisor at a company, and got like 13 guys that work for me. Oh. So without having people to help, I would not be able to make all these shows. Paula has been an angel, heaven sent to help us with this. If we can't go to the show, she'll make the trips by herself. If me and her, we will stop on the side of the road and we will sleep at the most random side stops in the middle of nowhere on a country highway in Louisiana. Like she's a trooper. She'll go anywhere and do anything that's asked. Like, so, you know, Nina's come on board and is helping more than she could ever know. And now with Amanda, she's going to go and do that one in Jersey for us. Like, we're growing, you know, slowly but surely. But without them, I couldn't be able to do this. And my wife, because little secret, she hates wrestling. Before I got in the business, she was cool with watching wrestling. But since I've been in the business, she's like, she was like, you were consumed with it when you were a wrestler. And now you're consumed with it when you're selling t-shirts. And like, she talks about how much she hates it, but she's in there making stuff for us to sell right now.
She don't want it. Maybe she just loves you so much that she'll put up with it, you know?
I'm not giving her that much credit. No, I'm just kidding. That's the reason she does it. She loves me.
Aww.
But it's a family effort. Like, I look at all these people that I just talked about as family. Like, we always say, Ohana Juheard is like our thing. And like, it really is. Like, it's a family thing. I mean, like, you know, if you're in wrestling, wrestling is over everything, because you have to there's so much sacrifice you have to do. But like, that sacrifice you're doing puts you in it puts you where you're with your family. Like, these people become your extended family that you're in the business with, because you spend more time with them than you do your actual family. So like, it all goes back to that. It might not be the family that like is blood, but it's still family.
So what has been the greatest obstacle that you've overcome?
Personally, or
but however you want to answer that question. It can be within wrestling over everything. It could be within your wrestling career, it could be personal, however you want to answer that question.
Personally, it was the loss of my dad. Because I was 11, I was so young. Like I had so much to learn as a kid, and didn't have like a male role model to teach me that. My mom did the best she could, and she played both roles and did it very well. Business wise, it's just getting people to give you a chance. There's so many people out there that you're like, hey man, like if I, like if I hook you up with a shirt, or if I, give you a discount on the shirt, anything like that, man, will you take a picture of, promote us, tag us, anything like that? And so many people say yes, and they don't do anything. So trying to get your name out there has been the biggest like hurdle for the company, is just having people to believe in what you're selling. I was talking to one of our sponsored athletes. He's a referee. His name's Jared Fitz. He's from Fritz. Sorry, he's from the Carolinas, and he is a referee for NWA. And when I was talking to him, he's like, Chuck, your the design's cool, your stuff's cool. Like it fits great. Like it's high quality stuff. You're actually out there doing things that people want to wear. He's like, but the thing that's going to sell your company is the personal part of it. You've got to tell your story about it. So like, and he did, and that's not something that I thought about. Like I'm clowning around with you because I'm having fun, but like realistically, I'm the kid that sits in the corner and doesn't want to talk to nobody.
I know, because you wouldn't say hi to me.
I will sit at the merch table like this until somebody walks up. So it's telling my story is the thing that's like the way to connect, because there's a place in wrestling for everyone. Not everyone's gonna be stone cold. You're gonna have guys that run the camera, sell the popcorn, take tickets, put up chairs, set up the ring, run the lights, press play on the music. Like everybody has a spot in wrestling. Some spots should be just you being a fan and not actually having a part in the business part of it. But there's a place for everyone in this community. The one thing about wrestling that I love is that everybody's accepted no matter what. There is a subculture of wrestling for everyone. That goes, I mean, you could see that at the collective this past weekend. Like you went from death match to a lucha show to For the Culture to Effie's show to Mission Pro, which I'm wearing Mission Pro Wrestling over everything. We did a collab shirt. We're going to be there this weekend in San Antonio. Shout out to them. I mean, like you have so many different varieties of shows. Like you have everything, like there's no just one thing where it's like it was back, in the early 60s, where it was two not very in shape white guys that were like, and then this only goes for Mississippi. I'm not talking like, because this is all I saw, right? So you had two fat white guys that were locking up and telling a story, and it was great storytelling, but like it was very divided till like JYD came in, like, and then you have a whole nother culture gets to come in and be involved in something. Because he was bigger than any rock star ever in the South. Like JYD was it. So like it's being a part. Everybody's has a place. Wrestling accepts everyone. I have a friend that she was talking about it. She was like, I didn't come out of the closet till I was in my teenage years, but the one thing that always brought me and my family together was wrestling. And she always talks about how the headbangers, she's like, there was two men in skirts wrestling, and my parents were absolutely okay with that because it was wrestling. And like I get to see I get to see a dude that goes in the ring, says hell yeah, stuns his balls, flips him off, drinks beer, pours it all over him. And then I get to see a guy that's from hell come out in a red suit that can't talk. And then I get to see two dudes that are in kilts or skirts wrestling. And then you got the Nation of Domination. Like, you have so many things that everybody can come together, no matter, race, creed, color, sex, whatever. Like, you can come together and watch, and everybody's there for it. Like, you're there as a fan, and then you go back to the real world. So it just is like, and at the end, wrestling's an escape for everyone.
That part where wrestling is absolutely an escape, and especially going to live events.
Yep.
Like, I went to Mania, I went to like a bunch of shows, whatever. Like, I was living in this little like bubble of like the happiest I could be, because I didn't have to think about my job or random bullshit. Like, I was purely in the moment.
Yep. It is and like I tell everybody, like, my phone sits in it down. Hold on, sorry. Like, I tell, like, my wife was like, I just don't understand the reason why you love it so much when I was wrestling. And I'm like, if I could bottle up the emotion I feel when I get to walk out the curtain and hear that, it doesn't matter if they're cheering you, booing you, telling you to go kill yourself as a wrestler. It doesn't matter what they're telling you. The reaction, like that adrenaline you get from what they're saying, and the reaction from the fans, there's nothing like it. There's nothing that compares to it as a wrestler. If they could bottle that up and sell it, you wouldn't have a crack addict ever. They would all be addicted to that adrenaline, because there's nothing like it. I played in punk rock bands and hardcore bands, and it was that doesn't compare to what it feels like when you walk out and you're in the ring. And for me, I was always getting beat up, and hearing that chuck, like, there's nothing like it. I'm like, I've got the crowd tonight. This crowd loves me. And it wasn't because I was great in the ring. It was because we were a bunch of maniacs that tried to make ourselves laugh. And that was, every match was trying to make each other laugh. Like, as a tag team, we legitimately tried to pop each other. So before the show would start, me and JD Jenkins, we would when he was wrestling with me as a tag partner, he was Boot Boy Bubbler. He told me that he told us at training one day that he could get anything over. He's like, I'm that good, I can get anything over. So we were like, all right, well, your name's is Bubbles. So, like, he took Bubbler and got it over. But me and him would grab Shaky, which was our other tag partner. Yeah, we had weird names, Shaky and Bubbler. It was great. We would grab him by a headlock, and we would drag him to every kid in the building and let him slap the shit out of him on top of his bald head. But, like, all the fans, like, they loved us because they could relate to the fact that we were, like, just one of them, how you just pick on your friends and you act dumb with them. Like, that's all we did. We just turned up everything that we would normally do on a daily basis and do it. Shaky's legit wife, he met at a wrestling show, and it was because I was like, hey, what's your name? And she was like, Anna. And I was like, this is Shaky. He likes long walks on the beach. He likes to go horseback riding naked. We don't have beaches, or like, I mean, we do have beaches here, but they're awful. And I don't know if you could horse ride naked on them or not. In fact, I don't know if you want to see shit. Anyway, but like, they met through wrestling, and it was because of me being dumb like that we like, they met. And like, we called him our pet idiot, and he wouldn't come down. He would get so annoyed by us. We'd be on the mic standing there against the ring, just looking at each other talking, and we would auction Shaky off every show. Nobody ever bought him. We would take shekels for him, and nobody would give us shekels. So I mean, like, it was just a way to connect that was different from anything anybody else was doing. Like, nobody else was doing what we were doing, and all we were doing was trying to make each other laugh. all the stuff we talked about in the car ride, we just did at the show. And it was never planned. We would just go out there and grab a mic and start talking to people. You know, that like weird point where you walk into the show and like sometimes there's very low music playing and everybody's just kind of sitting there not talking to anybody. None of the wrestlers are out yet. That's when we were out there doing that. So like we were like the pre-show entertainment. And like nobody ever asked us to do it. We just went out there and grabbed mics. And it didn't matter what promotion we were at. We just went out there and just did whatever we were going to do. But I mean, it made us, you know, somewhat successful in the Gulf Coast region. And we got to have a lot of fun doing it.
Well, it's stuff like that that fans like kind of makes like as a fan, like something like that would make me like remember you and be like, oh, those are those guys from before the show. Ha ha ha, cheer, cheer, cheer.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, we once we realized it worked, it became something we always did, but it didn't start out to try to like it wasn't something that we were like some hidden wrestling agenda, like, all right, we're gonna try this to see if we can get over with these people. It wasn't that at all. It was just the way it, you know, it just happened like organically. We were like a comedy wrestling group that we never set out to do comedy wrestling. Like our comedy wrestling was such subtleness, but it wasn't like we wasn't out there like ha 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 funny wrestling. Like it was legit matches. We just did funny stuff in there to make each other laugh.
I can hear your thunder.
It is. I thought it was gone. I was just sitting there thinking about how the rain was gone, and then it's thundering again.
It's cool. It gives like
I hope it doesn't go out again.
It gives a cool ambience to the talk. Like you're talking about putting yourself, you know, like getting over and thunder in the background.
Now I just think Garth Brooks playing in the background.
Thunder. Sorry. I am
She almost started singing it.
I very well could. I am old and I am from the middle of nowhere, South Dakota. So hell yeah, I know Garth Brooks.
We're going to see him at LSU Stadium at the end of the month. I'm pretty stoked.
Jealous. I would love to. Every time he's come through here, tickets are so damn expensive.
So I told my wife I wanted to go, and I was like, don't spend the money. I was like, I don't want to spend the money on going. And then like, she's like, guess what I did today? And this was like 3 or 4 days later, the day they went on sale. She's like, guess what I did today? I was like, I'm hoping it was buy something super sexy for tonight. And she sent me pictures of the tickets. I was like, that is not what I was wanting, but I am super cool with that too. And so she bought 3 tickets for me, her, and our oldest to go.
Well, that is gonna be awesome. I'm jealous.
Super stoked for that.
So what would you consider your greatest achievement in the wrestling business, either when you were wrestling or now with Wrestling Over Everything? And that can be whatever that means to you. Like it doesn't, like it can be like a title, or it can be like matches or whatever, anything. It can be anything. Whatever you consider your greatest achievement.
The guys that I've helped in the business would be my greatest achievement. Like like I was never a wrestler that wanted to put myself over. I never cared about winning or losing. I wanted the person I was wrestling. Like I would lose to everybody. I didn't care. I wanted the person I was wrestling to win because I wanted them to get the most out of the match they could. So like all the people that I've helped train, help get to where they're at. You know, like I told one of them, I was like, it doesn't matter if me and you are friends for the rest of our life or if we quit being friends today. If you make it, I made it. I was like, you don't even have to give me credit for it. But to know that a dude that I had, you know, my hand is on, he's somewhere and he's doing big things, bigger than just like indies here in Mississippi. And he's out there actually traveling, busting his ass and making all the towns and promotions he can make. that's my biggest achievement in wrestling. Like as a like in-ring competitor, that's all I cared about. I just wanted somebody that to do something more than I could. As a company, it's the family that I made through it. It's not about making this. I mean, of course, I'm a business. I want to make money. I want to make lots of money. So everybody that's watching this, go to our website and buy everything we have. But it's not just about that. It's the friendships and the relationships and the family that I've made through this. I'm not really close with any of my blood family, so most of my family has come through wrestling. So like this is what I do, like this, my family comes through this. So like those are my two biggest achievements. It was never about me in general. It's about how I can help other people.
Aww. That's so wholesome.
Like it's and I'm like that with every aspect of my life. I care more about helping others than I do about myself. And this isn't about me putting myself over, because there's a million people in the world that are like me. In that aspect, that they care more about others than they do themselves. But I genuinely won't. If your goal is to be bigger than what you are, like I want you to achieve it, and I'll do anything in the world to help you achieve it. I mean, of course, yeah, like you can help me get my goals too, but like if you don't ever help me, it's not about that. It was about me trying to help you.
Well, I hope that like that is a very wholesome goal. I hope that you find people that feel the same and that help you the way
Right.
that you help them.
No, it does. It makes all the sense in the world.
Like good people deserve to be with good other people. Like
truly. And that's what it's about. It's not, I mean, like, of course, like I just said, I'm a business and I want to make all, like, I've got, I don't know if you can see it, but all those hoodies over there on that shelf right there, there's 2 shelves full of hoodies, and behind the storm shelter, there's a shelf full of shirts. There's hats over there behind Paula. Like I have a bunch of stuff that I would love to get, like, please buy all of it. But at the end of the day, like if other people, if I'm making my little bit and I'm slowly and surely coming out of the financial hole, like I feel like I'm succeeding, and especially if I'm trying to bring other people up too at the same time.
I like that. Like that. And like when you say that, like it feels genuine. It doesn't feel like you're pandering, which is nice.
Right.
Like people say stuff like that all the time, and
right.
I
mean, because it genuinely is that. I help train people at Pro Wrestling Ego, and you can talk to almost everybody I've ever trained. The price that was set out for them, I think one person paid in full, and everybody else paid with time and labor. I can tell you right now, there's a guy on the Indies that is working all over the place that paid nothing for his training. I trained him in my backyard at my house. I trained him in a venue, like a 3-car garage we set up the ring up in. He didn't pay a dime, other than you paying his dues. He didn't pay a dime for his training, and he wrestles every weekend. It was never about the money. It was about that dude having a dream and me helping him fulfill what he wanted to do in life. Like that's all it was. It wasn't about, like, I could have charged and been, the typical promoter that charges $3,000 to train people and they watch VHS tapes and play wiffle ball. Like that legit happened in Mississippi. I'm not making it up. That, like, dead serious. They watched videos and played wiffle ball, and that was their training. Never got in the ring and bumped, and it was $3,000.
Jesus.
So like it's not that's a real thing. Like, and all I cared about to do was getting what he wanted out of life.
So like if you feel comfortable dropping the name, or you can tell me afterwards, that's fine too. I just want to know who it is.
I'll tell you.
Cool. I just want to know because I'm nosy.
No, I'll tell you afterwards.
Hell yeah. So, what is the wrestling word that you use most outside of wrestling?
Gimmick. Gimmick or brother. I call everybody brother. So my tag partner Shaky, he was my I've always looked at him as like my big younger brother because I'm older than him, but he's like I've always looked at him like he was my kid brother. And then we wrestled together, and then he became ordained to do weddings and stuff. So I call him brother because he's three brothers. So like brother, like, and I don't realize I'm doing it, but I call everybody. Like if you call me on the phone and I'm sitting there talking, I'm like, all right, bro. And I'm like I say bro and brother a lot. And then like if I can't think of the word, I'm sitting at work. And like my real job, I work for a locate company. When people are digging, they call us to come out and locate utilities. And I'm a supervisor for one of them. And we're sitting there talking, and they're like, one of my guys will ask me a question about where do they hook up on something. I'm like, go down the street, go to that gimmick. And I'm like, they don't know what that means. And I'm like, why am I calling the cable TV pad a gimmick? And I'm like, what am I doing with my life? So it's gimmicking, brother.
So when I ask that question, I hear gimmick a lot. So it's not just you.
Yes.
There's a bunch of you that do this.
Yes.
Moving on to some kind of less heavy topics, I suppose. You obviously you were a wrestler, so you traveled for wrestling. You travel now, and since you're telling me you don't fly, you clearly drive. So, what do you like to listen to on your drives?
All right, so my music is very, very all over the place. That was not the word I was looking for, but I'm ADD and I cannot remember the word. I was going to butcher it, so we're just going to go. It's all over the place.
Eclectic.
That's the word I was looking for, but I was going to murder the word. So I've like in real life, I have one of my friends. I have to call him, and I'm like, look, what's the big word for this? And he will tell me exactly what it is. And I was like, I was so off. Anyway, so like I will go from listening to Terror, which is a like hardcore metal band, to listening to 90s pop. I will sing all of the Britney Spears, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys songs that come on. I will go to listening to Boyz II Men. We will listen to POD. We will listen to any type of like 90s, early 2000s hip hop. I will go to listen to praise and worship music. I will listen to Christian hip hop. I will listen to everything country from Hank Jr., like the senior, to new stuff. Thomas Rhett, stuff like that. Like it's everywhere. And I will listen to like 5 or 6 songs. And I'm like, all right, I got to find something else. I will go back to when I was a kid and try to remember like bands that I've not listened to in ages. And I'm just sitting there. I'm Apple Music pulled up, and I'm like, what was the name of that band that I listened to when I was like 12 that I know like 4 songs off this one album that was really cool when I was 12, but it probably is awful now. And one of them was like this. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but there's this band called Pax 217. They were from California, and like it is like it's. I mean, like, but when I was 12, this music was rad, and I loved every bit of it. And so, like, I'll listen to them, and it's just for nostalgia. I'll listen to John Davis was in a tag team with Corey Chavis, Dark City Fight Club, and Corey just put out a rap album. I will listen to his music. A friend of ours, Dante Smiley, put out a rap album. I listen to his music. Like when my friends put out stuff, I listen to their stuff. I got a buddy named August Artois. He's from Florida. He's one of our sponsored athletes. he was in a metal band when he was like 16. And I'm like, dude, where's all the recordings and stuff? And he's like, there isn't any with me. They recorded after I left the band. I'm like, well, that's horseshit because I want to listen to you do vocals. And so like I try to support like that stuff too. But I listen to everything. I used to listen to a lot of podcasts, but when I became a supervisor and my phone rings all the time, it's hard to listen to stuff. So I just listen to music because it's easier to press pause on a song than it is to come back like 3 days later and try to pick up on a podcast. I don't remember anything that was said in the first 45 minutes that I listened to 3 days ago. So I'm like, I can't do it no more. Now road trips, I should do that, but music is my music taste is all over the place.
So on road trips, I am a Snackosaurus Rex. I love snacks. I'm like a huge snack person. So like, what are your go-to like road snacks?
So since October, I've been on keto and I've lost 46, 7, 48. I don't know. I lost almost at 50 pounds. So I'm very like Quest cookies, Quest, Reese's, Quest, everything. Pork rinds, beef jerky, water, and bangs and Reigns. Anything that has caffeine in it, I am drinking that. All of it. I drink all of it if it has caffeine. Caffeine and no sugar, I'm there for it. But that's our road trip stuff. With my wife and kids are with me, we stop somewhere and like try new restaurants that aren't in Mississippi, like where we like to eat. So we like to try new stuff. If it's just me or if it's just Paula, like me and Paula out on the road, we eat at gas stations. We try to find every Buc-ee's we can find. Like I know that's like the indie wrestling thing is to go take a picture with the beaver, but like I've been going to the Buc-ee's for a long time. I love the Buc-ee's.
You're like OG Buc-ee's?
Yeah, I love Buc-ee's.
I've never been.
So they have this Texas barbecue melt thing, and it's got ham, turkey, bacon, some type of ranch barbecue sauce thing on it. It is the greatest. It's the greatest thing I've ever put in my mouth, food wise. I was going to say a bunch of things I probably shouldn't have said. I told you I wasn't going to do it, so I didn't. But if my wife is on here watching this, you are way more important than that sandwich. I love you in my mouth way more. Anyway, but like it's the greatest sandwich I've ever eaten. They have this burrito. Legit, the burrito is as big as my fist. And like we're sitting right in front of the Buc-ee signs. And I looked at Paula when I bought it. I was like, because like it was my cheat meal for like that 3-week process of being on keto. And I was like, all right, I don't know how I'm fixing to do this, but there's a picture of me like this big ass burrito, right? I'm not going to tell you all the things that she said in the car because it's not appropriate and women shouldn't talk like that.
Women can talk however they want.
I just said that because she's right there. I'm friends with Nina. There is no limits to what women can say. No, but that's what we usually that's what we usually snack on. We try to, if it's like I said, if it's just me and Paula, we're just like snacks from the store. But if it's the family, I've got to stop and we've got to eat. Like we're going to have meals and all of that. Where did we go in Dallas?
The place.
Dick's Last Resort. Have you ever been there?
No.
Okay. Have you ever seen the pictures where they put the they write on a paper hat and they put it on your head, and it says like the most random dirty things they possibly could say on it.
Yeah, is that the one where they're like, if you're over 350 pounds, you eat free?
I don't know, but it might be because they're rude. They're super rude to you when you come up to the table. They're like, it was kind of chilly when we were there, like not for Mania. This was we went for New Texas, and I took the whole family and everybody went, and so we were down there and we went there. Like we've never been one. Like I've always wanted to go. We went to the aquarium that morning before we left, and I've always talked about wanting to go. And my wife was like, "I see Dick's Last Resort right there," so we go. We walk in and they're like, "How many?" And we said 6, and they were like, "All right, well, you can go outside and freeze your ass off because that's how much I care about you." All right.
Oh.
I was like, I didn't realize it was like, I realized they were going to be assholes, but like, because it's the gimmick of the restaurant. So we're sitting out there, we come back inside and they write all this stuff. So for mine, they wrote, "Even my hair is scared of my face." For my wife, it was, "Has swallowed more nuts than a squirrel." Paula had super kinky hair. Her hair was all kinked up and stuff. And it was like, her hair is not the only thing kinky about her. My youngest was third child tax credit. My daughter was not mommy's favorite. And my oldest was, will it ever grow? And there was this dude that was not white sitting next to us, and it said his was white man's, or hung like a white man. And yes, and there was a bunch of there was a cheerleader convention, and when the cheerleaders came in, I was like, our waitress was there. I was like, please, for the love of God, as much as you have called my kids little shits while we've been sitting here at this restaurant, will you please go tell one of them they're going to be will be 16 and pregnant or something? And she legit went and wrote "Next Teen Mom" on one of their hats. It was the funniest thing. The girl's mom was so mad. It was so funny.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
That sounds like a lot.
It's great.
Generally a lot.
Yeah, like, so it's bar food. And I mean, it was good. Like what I had was good, but it's generally just bar food. They had a blowjob shot. I don't know if you know what that is, where they pour the shot and it has whipped cream on the top of it. You can't take it with your hands. You have to put your mouth around the shot and you just take it. So there's a video of me, my wife, and Paula taking the shots. And my oldest making a whole bunch of inappropriate jokes to everybody that was doing it. He didn't say, "With all due respect." I should have beat him up. He didn't live the gimmick.
You got to commit. Commit to the bit.
You got to commit. So what's your favorite snack?
Oh, mine? So I have like a whole theory around snacks.
All right.
The best, like, and you can build it out, but like, you want something crunchy and salty, something fruity, something like chocolatey, or like sometimes you can do like your chocolate and your baked good in one. Like that's the bare minimum. You want the 3. You want something salty, something fruity, something chocolatey. And your chocolatey can be a baked good. Chocolate chip cookies are like pretty much a go-to, especially if it's hot. You don't want like actual chocolate.
Right.
Like that's too melty. But you can build it out and include crunchy and cheesy. And you can build it out further and put your baked good and your chocolate separate.
Yeah. We do string cheese. Like we'll stop at truck stops and they'll have string good. We do that.
Oh, hell yeah. So like I'm going on a road trip with my friend. We're going to Indiana this weekend for Paradigm UWFI tapings and Pawcade. I'm very excited. So I've already started my snack. So I do have beef jerky.
All right.
I have goldfish crackers. And I have like they're supposed to go on top of salads, but I don't eat salads. But it's just like nuts and dried fruit.
Right.
It's like a good like go-to for me. And
So
I
we
also have Mike and Ike's.
Mike, great. Have you seen those? They're like Parmesan, like they take the cheese and they bake them.
Yes.
And, like that stuff is what they put like instead of using croutons, it's keto food, but like we've got like a drawer full of that. And that we just dip them in ranch. But that's talk about the crunchy and salty, like those are dip both of those.
I have had those before and they were delicious. I am going tomorrow to pick up the rest of my snacks. I saw like it's so like easy and dumb, but I want to try it anyway. I saw like a thing on Pinterest. I think it was Pinterest or maybe I don't know, it was somewhere I saw it somewhere. And it was they just take frozen grapes and they coat them like they shake them up in a bag with sugar-free jello. And I was like, that sounds good. Because I too am low sugar at this point in my life, much to my own dismay.
Right. So we use the sugar-free jello stuff in whipped cream, like the tub of whipped cream.
Yeah.
Take those together and freeze it. It's like ice cream. So like my wife just got on keto with me. She's lost like 12 pounds in like a week, something like that. And she's eating all my whipped cream.
So excellent idea. Totally stealing it. Sweets are my weakness. And
Yes.
I'm trying to go low sugar. I've been low sugar, high protein, not quite keto just because I'm not that strict about it because that's just not how my life works. But
Right.
For almost 2 years now, and I've lost 50 pounds and I've been like I've maintained the 50-pound weight loss for like
Right.
a year. So which is annoying because I would like to, lose more, but I'm glad that I've kept off. I have.
Yeah. Whipped cream, we use whipped cream like it's ice cream. Like the tubs of it.
Yeah.
You have, like if you're on keto, you can have a couple teaspoons and you can have that fix for that sweet tooth. Because you can't really tell the difference if you're in a need for something sweet, you can't tell the difference.
If you're Jonesing that bad, it don't matter.
Yeah, it's obviously a huge difference, but if you're like that sweet tooth is like there, like there's no difference.
I've definitely like noticed that things like that I used to just eat that I go back and like eat now, like there is a like it tastes sweeter. Like after a while, that you kind of your taste buds go back to normal.
I don't have the desire. Like cheesecake's my favorite dessert, and I really want cheesecake, but like I don't think that like I haven't had the desire to like actually like go get one and eat it. Now I saw one the other day that was a Bailey's Irish cream cheesecake, and I was like, all right, I might kill someone for that because like that sounded amazing. But it's at a friend of mine's bakery that she works at in somewhere in Illinois. I don't remember where it's at in Illinois, but somewhere in Illinois. So I don't have to worry about it because I'm not driving to Illinois for a piece of cheesecake. So we're good.
Yeah. A lot of the times being lazy outweighs my like desire for things.
Yes. Sometimes
it's like I'd like ice cream, but I really don't have any in the house, and I'm really not leaving. So
for sure, same way. I get it.
So outside of wrestling, like what are your hobbies? Like what do you enjoy to do?
So we live on besides my wife, we live on 10 acres. We we deer hunt, squirrel hunt, ride four-wheelers, side-by-sides, do all the country stuff. I mean, that's the reason I moved out here to 10 acres. Walk outside, just randomly shoot guns. It's great. Won't shoot at anything, just shoot off in the woods. I've got like this big hill that our house sits on. So I just shoot down in the bottom into the openness of nothing. It's cleared out. It was supposed to be a pond, and the guy that we bought from never finished it. So I just shoot down there in the emptiness of his nothing pond. We legit like going to do, like I told you earlier, like we like trying different types of food, different restaurants. If there's a brewery around, we'll go try different breweries, different distilleries and stuff like that. It makes it sound like we're alcoholics. We're really not. It's just, it's one of the things that we just enjoy. Like we enjoy going and trying new stuff. My oldest was doing jiu-jitsu. So we used to do a lot of that. We moved out here and he kind of lost interest because we're so far away from the school and all that. So it's really, we just hang out here. If we're not on the road, we're just hanging out, doing country stuff. Or instead of shit, we're doing country shit.
Well, like I said, I'm from a small town in the middle of nowhere, South Dakota, and when I say small, I mean like 50 people, and so I get all of that. The first time I ever shot a gun, it was like 2 Christmases ago, and I went out to my aunt and uncle's house and I shot into a dirt pile. Like,
yeah, I mean, it makes it great. It's a great stop for the bullets.
Right? Yeah. So I was thinking. The 2 times I fired it. I was like, I just want to shoot a gun to say that I've done it. I don't need to like actively pursue this as a thing.
Yeah, we deer hunt, and the 2 that I got this year, I shot off of my back porch in gym shorts and a hoodie. I didn't even get dressed. I walked outside and they were there, and I was like, I don't even have to put camouflage on today. I was like, you made this way easy. And I mean, I shot one before I went to work. It was great. My wife went and found it. We put it on the four-wheeler, took it, we hung it up and cleaned it. And the whole time I'm cleaning the deer, my phone's ringing. My guys are calling me from work, and she's holding the phone answering it. And I'm like, cutting the deer. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? Okay, well, give me about 35 minutes and I'll be there. And as I'm just cleaning this deer, like it's nothing. So, yeah, we do country shit. We do a lot of it.
So my dad deer hunted.
Right.
Okay, you froze, so I didn't know if I still had you or not. So I apologize.
No, you're good.
All right, cool. So my dad was a deer hunter when I was growing up, and there was one morning I went out to go in my car to drive to school, and my dad had hung a deer in my garage. I almost walked face first into the damn thing, and I was like, Wayne, you put the deer in your own garage. Leave it out of mine.
So both the ones I killed, we have a shop in our back, and there's an awning, and it's up against the back of it. So there's no cleaning of it. I have cleaned a deer in a garage before on the back of a truck. Like it was laying on the bed of the truck and we cleaned it there. I've never hung one in a garage. So I did hang one on our play set in the backyard of our old house. Nice. In the neighborhood. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, I had to clean it. It was going to go to waste. I had to clean it.
You don't want it to go to waste.
No, you can't do that. All that time I spent in the woods, no.
Oh, this is definitely the first conversation I've ever had on the show with somebody about deer hunting.
I'm glad I could be the first.
Me too. I'm glad we could share this together.
Yes. Since you wouldn't talk to me at Manny.
I didn't know. I was all over the place. Like, I didn't even know that you were there. Right. I talked to Nina. I talked to Paula.
I was just the guy in the background. I'm telling you, I made myself that way, though. It wasn't your fault. Like, I was like, I think that's her. Not 100% sure. I think so though. Like you had a very there was a very like big presence around you. Like there was people standing around you and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's got to be Val. Everybody loves Val. And I was like, maybe I'll get to see her when she's not surrounded by people. But that didn't happen.
Well, I did talk with a lot of people Mania weekend. But I wish I would have come and talked with you. And I'm a little sad that I didn't.
But now we've been on this for like 7 hours, so we made up for it. I don't know what time it is. It just feels like we've been on this thing, like not in a bad way.
I was like, wrap it up, Pops.
That's not what I meant. Did Chris tell you how me and him met? Where we were at when we met?
No, I don't think so.
In Chattanooga.
No, do tell.
So like, I was hiding. Like I'm not a deathmatch guy.
You went to an ICW show, sir. What did you expect us going to?
Okay, so in all fairness, I've never been to one. I've been in hardcore matches, like no rope matches, tables, ladders, and chairs. I've done that stuff, but I've never been to a like deathmatch show. And like we pull up like legit. The main reason we were going is because Masha and Akira were wrestling each other, and Masha's a sponsored athlete, and I was like, all right, this would be the closest I get to be at a show where she's at. And because I didn't know we were going to Dallas at the time. And I was like, all right, let's go. So we went. And they were the first match. We pulled up when the dude in the ring's counting down. 5, 4, 3, and the show started. Like that's how, and they put the show back an hour. And so we pull up, we walk in as, was Akira first? I think Akira came out first. Music hits, and they start wrestling and trying to kill each other. It was weird. I mean, not weird in a way of like that. That's weird, but like, I was like, they're in a relationship and they're sitting here making each other bleed. And then I was texting Cheryl. I was like, maybe. But I was like, it works for them. It might work for us. And I was
family that bleeds together.
Yeah. So, but like they started breaking light tubes, and when the light tubes started getting broke, and it's the way they sound when they break it live, it's not what they sound like on like TV.
Beautiful.
They started breaking. I just stood behind Paul. I was like, if you get hit with glass, it's you. So Chris is like right against the cage, and I'm like, he's fixing to die. There could have been glass all over him. He wouldn't have known. He was like 37 to the wind. He would have never known if there was glass on him or not. He was trying to protect his wrestling over everything hoodie. He was like, he ran over there. It's like, there's no blood on it. Thank God there's no blood on it. It was funny though.
I haven't always been into deathmatch wrestling. I really wasn't for a long time. Right. But over the pandemic, like it made me hard as a person. And so I got into deathmatch wrestling. And I've been to a couple ICW shows. When I went to Mania last year, I went to like 3, I think. And I definitely got blood all over my shirt.
Have you ever been to a gore show? I know it's not real blood, but have you ever been seeing gore?
No.
You said blood on your shirt and made me think about it. Like, do you know who gore is?
Yeah.
Okay, so we won free tickets, and so we went, and my wife is completely the opposite musically. Gore is not her scene. And they started cutting people's heads off and stuff, and there's blood squirting everywhere, and people are just like, give me the blood. It was anyway, sorry. You said blood on your shirt, it just went to my head. I know it's fake blood, but my bad.
You're fine. I'm here for you. Like,
so it's just like the memory of just watching people get covered in blood. And then like we were at Mania and watching Nina run back and forth trying to stitch people up. And like I'm looking at Hoodfoot and I'm like, look at your body, bro. Like all these scars. And then I'm hanging out with Cruel at the ICW show. And like I knew him before he wrestled this. Like I didn't realize like he was the same dude that like I hung out with before. I've got stories about that dude and his oh man. Anyway, I'm not telling those stories. So I will leave that to John Davis to tell. He tells it better.
Note to self: circle back with John Davis about Cruel stories.
But I'm looking at him. I'm like, I'm like, you were busted open everywhere, man. You have scars everywhere. I was like, I don't get it. I was like, under that mask, you're an attractive man. Why would you do this to yourself? Same thing with Akira. I'm like, and like I legit asked Masha. I was like, why? I was like, I don't get it. I was like, I know how bad I felt after like just having regular wrestling matches. I was like, this is multiplied by like 700 to you. What you're doing to yourself. I was like, not for me. I don't get it. I was like, I get that. Like, it's super cool. There's a passion for it. You have to absolutely love it. You cannot do it half-heartedly. You have to love it. But it's not for me as a wrestler.
As a fan, I do legitimately love hearing the light tubes break and them crinkle down to the floor like a rain stick. It's beautiful.
She stuck that down. She stuck a sawzall to her boyfriend's forehead. Masha stuck a sawzall to her boyfriend's forehead.
I mean, he probably had it coming.
And like that's what my wife said. And like and then like all that conversation that I circled back to where I was like, I mean, it works for them. No, I'm good. If you do all the things I deserve, I don't want no part of none of that. She would strip me butt naked, strap me to a tree and pour honey on me. And say, if you die, you die. And I probably deserve every bit of that.
I mean, it should motivate you to be
a better person. I agree.
Yes.
So I don't die from ants.
Nobody wants to die from ants. No. So with all of your traveling, most people have like at least one like really good travel story where something was either like really funny or like really like crazy or like you almost died. Like everyone has like that like I've almost died story. So like what's your like best road story?
So Bubbler and Ray Fury drove to Jacksonville. And it's weird that it's at the exact same time of the year. It was Easter weekend. We left my house at like 4:00 that Saturday morning. We had to drive to Jacksonville, Florida for USWA. John Davis had got us booked on the show. And we were wrestling, the tag team was wrestling Devon's twins, Terrell and I forgot. I'm horrible with names. It's Terrell something. I can't remember the other one's name. Terrence. It's Terrence. Terrell and Terrence. If I'm wrong about that, I'm sorry, but I think that's right. Anyway, we were wrestling them. So we leave at 4 a.m. and we drive and we get there. We set up, or like, you throw your shit get your shit out of the car, go in, say, everybody, shake all the hands, kiss all the babies.
Brother, everybody.
Yeah, you brother, everybody. So we get done with that. We go outside, we go grab something to eat, come back, we wrestle. And I drove the whole way. And we go after the show, we went to eat with John and his aunt at Waffle House. And we get back on the road. And I'm like, dude, I have got to go back tonight. Like, I don't have a choice. I was like, Easter's tomorrow. I got to go do Easter Bunny stuff. Like, I have to. So we're driving, and I get to, it was probably almost Pensacola, back from Jacksonville, and I was like, somebody else has got to drive. I was like, I'm done. And everybody knows, like, if I'm getting tired or I have to pee, because I hit my cruise control and my knees start bouncing. Like, I'm shaking the whole car, trying to stay awake, or I've got to pee that bad. And so Ray Fury was like, I'll drive. So he gets in the car and I go to sleep. and I slept a couple hours. I wake up, and it is so foggy that you could see maybe 100 feet in the car, in front of the car. It's that thick. It's just nasty, muggy fog. I look down at the speedometer. He's doing 115. And I look over at Bubs and I'm like, and he's like, and I look back at him and I was like, bro, if I die, I'm going to die asleep. And I lay back down and went back to sleep. I was like, if we die, I do not want to be awake. I don't want to be awake for the pain that's coming from this wreck. Like, you literally could only see 100 feet from the car, and we're doing 115. Without a care in the world. I'm talking about, I didn't give a shit. And the great part about him doing 115 is I walked in the door, went into the bathroom, I peed. As I walked out, Cheryl just walked back by the bathroom, and the kids are walking behind her to go in there and do Easter Bunny stuff. If he wouldn't have done 115, I wouldn't have made it.
Never made it.
So thank you for doing 115. But I thought I was going to die.
Oh my God. I've never gone that fast in my whole ass life.
Oh, yeah.
That's terrifying to me. Legitimately terrifying. But I'm glad you made it.
That's probably the craziest thing. I mean, not the craziest. I mean, like, that's the funniest story, like, is him doing 115. And when you call him out on it, he's like, I didn't do that. I'm like, okay, you didn't do that.
Shout out.
There's other stories that I can't say because one of them's married. He'll get real mad at me. It did not have anything to do with the cheating on his wife or nothing like that. But like before he got married, we tried to get one of our buddies. There was this rat that was she was loving all over the Boo Boys, and I'm not gonna say what town or anything. She loved us, and like me and Bubbler would stand at the merch table, and we would tell everybody that, you know, like if they bought one of our T-shirts, they would look great if they went to a funeral, a wedding, a bar mitzvah, a childbirth, your court cases, anything you went to, it would make you look better. It's a dress shirt. And this girl walked in and we were talking about her eyes, and like this would make her eyes so much more beautiful and all this stuff. And she bought everything that we were saying, being like real life stuff. As soon as she walked away from the merch table, she started messaging us. And so we start acting like we're Shaky because Shaky's single. And we handed him her on the platter. She was, y'all can just come stay at my house for the night. I was like, I can eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And Shaky's a better man than most wrestlers, because most wrestlers would have been over there. Especially since the other two of us were married and we're not going down that path. I'm scared of my wife. She knows where I sleep. I'm scared of her. And she watches every crime documentary out there. She knows how to get rid of everybody.
I mean, I've seen every episode of Forensic Files,
So you could probably help her. So like I'm not dying while I'm in my sleep by her. I might die in my sleep, but it's not going to be at the hands of her. Sorry.
It sounds like a challenge.
I just challenged her. I hope she did not read this. Watch this.
So I do want to give a quick shout out to Bumper Shot because he said Too Fast, Too Furious. And I was like, that's a great pun.
Yes. That's great.
I was like, that's good. I love a good pun. So if you could go back, like what would you tell a 10-year-old version of yourself?
Ooh. To not to sweat the small stuff, and to always remember, stay true to yourself, because at the end of the day, you are all you have. Family. I mean, I've lost every parental unit that I've had, grandparents, parents. So at the end of the day, you are all you have, and you have to be secure in yourself. Friends come and go, you lose loved ones. So as long as you're alive, you got to stay true to yourself. Yeah,
Nice.
that would be the biggest advice. Because for a long time I would get really hung up on whether or not like the people that I considered to be like family and friends and people that I considered to be close, I would get hung up on the aspect of if they were mad at me or anything like that, and I wouldn't know how to. If I couldn't, like, I'm a let's settle the shit right now, not a let's sit there and sleep on it stuff. And I've just, the older I get, I realize like I at the end of the day, I really only have me. Like, I mean, like, of course I have family and people that count on me, but at the end of the day, if everybody leaves me tomorrow by their own choice, I'm still stuck with myself. So I got to be happy with myself and who I am. Because if you're happy with yourself, the other stuff falls in place. So like that would be my biggest advice to myself.
Nice. Wise words. So I just have a couple more questions, and then we'll go to questions from chat. I think that we have a lightning round, and then we'll wrap up and be done. And then you won't have to talk to me anymore.
No, I love talking.
So what is the biggest animal that you could take in a fight with just your hands, no weapons?
My doofus dog Baker. He is a crackhead, and I can take him. I don't know if I can take anything bigger than him, but for sure him.
Fair enough.
He John hates it. He jumped up. The only time John seen him, he jumped up and scratched John, and John's got a scar on his leg from the dog. And every time he hears his name, he's like, "That stupid dog." It's funny though, but yeah, he's a Beagle mix, and he's a doofus.
So,
did I say Beagle? I meant Lab. Sorry, Lab, not Beagle. Sorry, that was the old dog. Sorry. Yeah, I guess I'm the crack baby, and he's not. Oh, sorry.
well, the dog sounds great.
Yeah,
I like pets.
he's a good dog for the most part.
Depends on
Every
who
now
you
and then
ask, I guess.
He's like 2 years old, so he's still in that like I'm super excited lab stage.
Aww. So how do you take your pancakes?
So we have to get like this keto mix, and it doesn't taste the same. They're not as good, but with sugar-free syrup. Now, when I was eating however I wanted to, and was all the sugar I could find, I like to go to IHOP and get the cheesecake pancake, and pour syrup all over it. Even though it's got like berries and stuff, I want extra syrup and all of that. I want all the sugary stuff that you can put on pancakes. If I'm not on keto, I want everything that you possibly. If it's got sugar in it, I need all of it on the pancake.
I feel you. To my soul.
No butter. I don't like butter.
I don't butter either.
No butter on my pancakes or waffles.
I don't fuck with waffles. So
well, like when you go to Waffle House, you don't have pancakes to eat.
Yeah, and I have hash browns usually and bacon.
I get that. I'm with that too.
They have like pretty bomb hash browns, and then for hash browns, just salt and butter. I'm very basic.
You gotta have cheese.
I don't need that on my hash browns.
I need cheese on everything I eat. I guess I gotta have cheese on it.
I can understand where you would feel that way. I just don't agree. Not for me.
That's fine. We don't have to agree.
Right? Yeah, no, it's cool. That's the best part about food. You can eat whatever you want.
I put cheese. We put cheese and jalapenos and ketchup on our hash brown.
That sounds like a lot.
It's good. Sometimes if you're in the mood, you can get the chili too. Birch chili. That's where it's at.
See, that's definitely not for me, but I love that you enjoy it and that you get creative with your hash browns.
There was one time I went, a buddy of mine's wife was a cook there, or the manager there, and we would go in during the day. Certain days she would cook. So we'd go in there and she was like, "What do you want today, Chuck?" And I was like, "So I want you to take the double quarter cheeseburger plate with the hash browns. And I want you to cook all of it together and put it on a burrito, like on your tortilla, and roll it up and give it to me as a burrito." And that's the way I ate it that day. It was very odd, but I was like, "Look, man, you're gonna mix all your food gets mixed in your stomach. Just do it here. You're saving me the trouble. I don't even have to use a fork now."
Just right in your hand.
Yes, it just fits in my hand.
So I know that you are currently on keto, so this probably isn't something you do currently, but take yourself back in your mind to a time where you could eat whatever you wanted at any point. Did I lose Chuck?
No, I'm here. I'm
Okay.
I'm here. I'm thinking about being back. No, I'm back. I'm sitting here thinking about all the food I want to eat right now.
So your video's frozen, but I can hear you. So we're gonna keep moving. And I think you just unfroze, so we're good. I just didn't want to lose you and keep talking and then not have you there. So think back in your mind. At one point, you maybe were hungry. You went to the store. You were looking for something sweet because who amongst us doesn't love something sweet?
Yes.
And you're browsing the aisles. You turn down the cookie aisle, and you're like, "Hell yeah, I love cookies." And you go to, there's all the cookies, and you're like, no, I want America's favorite cookie, which is the Oreo. So you go to the section with the Oreos, and there's all the kinds of flavors, but you don't want the flavors. Right. You just want like your OG, like regular, like chocolate cookie, white cream center Oreo. Right. But like you still have options, right? Because you can pick like the thin Oreos or like the regular Oreos. Double stuff. You're exactly where I was going with that question. That is the unofficial correct answer.
That's the only Oreo.
If I'm gonna fuck with Oreos, I might as well get double stuffed, right?
Double stuffed or nothing.
Double stuffed or GTFO?
Yes.
Hell yeah. See, the unofficial correct answer to the question. I'm so glad that we had you here to do that.
Yes, that is my second, no, my third favorite cookie.
What's numbers 1 and 2?
Number 1 is, do y'all have McAllister's? It's like a restaurant.
I've heard of it. I've never been to one.
Okay, so their chocolate chip cookie is my favorite cookie. Okay, I lied. It's not my favorite. There's this place in Jackson that's called Campbell's Bakery, and they will put chocolate chip cookies, and then they put like cream cheese icing in between the cookies. Ooh. And they make like sandwiches. That is my favorite cookie. My second favorite cookie is the EL fudge cookies, the little elf cookies. Like, I love those. Like,
do you get the double filling on those too?
Yeah, those like legit. I love those. No one else in my house eats them. So when I was eating everything, yes, every time Cheryl would buy them, I'm like, if you touch my cookies, I'm killing everyone. These are mine. Now, my youngest will eat anything you put in front of him, so I'm afraid he would eat my cookies if I had them. Because even the stuff like he doesn't like, he's like, "Can I have some?" I'm like, "You don't even like this," but he's like, "I want your food." Little fatty.
He's just hungry.
He's always hungry. He wants everything. He wants to eat. That's all he does. He could eat like a 7-course meal, and like 30 seconds later, he's like, "I'm hungry."
He's a growing young man.
3-year-old. He doesn't need all this food, but he thinks he does. I think he eats out of boredom because he's at home by himself with his mom every day. And I think that he's like, oh, well, I see mom snack all day. I want to snack all day.
I mean, I'm 36 and I want a snack all day.
I get it. I want to too. I understand.
Oof, I'm definitely a snack out of boredom kind of gal.
Yes, I am too.
So I can't blame anybody else for doing it. So this is the time where we go to Christopher to see if we have questions from the chat and if we have a lightning round.
We have a few questions from the chat, and I do have a lightning round as well.
Lucky.
I'm excited.
So let's start with questions from the chat. We're going to call this questions from VIP Vic, because VIP Vic is the questions from the chat tonight.
Thanks, Vic.
So first question from Vic is actually about business. He would like to know, will you be offering the tie-dye shirts again?
That is a definite possibility. We were getting those made by our good friend Morgan Case. It's IC. I cannot remember what the IC stands for because I'm horrible with the names and stuff. It's something Creations. I just went blank. I'm sorry, Morgan. I love you. Sorry. Insatiable Creations. I think that's right. Anyway, they were making them for us, and she actually told me the other day that she had some that were she was fixing to send to us. So I will have some, and if you message me on Instagram, I will let you know when they get here.
All right, Vic, there's your answer. Give a message to Wrestling Over Everything over on Instagram, and they'll let you know. All right, second question is also from Vic, and it is also about business. What are the new items coming to the Wrestling Over Everything store?
All right, so I just dropped. I'm trying to count from where I'm sitting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think 7 new hats I dropped yesterday. And I just ordered some new racerback tanks.
Ooh.
We're gonna have leggings as well. So right now, those are the 3 new things we're fixing to drop. We've got shot glasses that we only sell at shows because of the fact that I don't know how to package shot glasses, and I don't want to buy more stuff for packaging. And have you ever seen the little clapper things that make all the noise, like when you wave them like this? I'm fixing to show you. So these, we got these with Wrestling Over Everything, and they light up.
That's awesome.
We have a bunch of different colors. Got bracelets. We just ordered a new sticker, but that's really the new stuff for right now. It comes in waves. I'll see something and I'm like, oh, that's dope. I want our logo on that. We also have a new T-shirt that we are fixing to drop too. It is good. I don't want to give it away, but it's I'm pretty excited about it. As soon as it should be here next week. So as soon as I get them, they will be on the site. The new racerbacks are different colors that we've never done too. So like I'm excited about those because we had like a heather black, it's like grayish black color, and a like blue color.
Ooh.
Changed the 2 up. And we've never done anything that on print that was a different color logo besides the Mission Pro. Everything's always been white. But the new stuff we're gonna have is gonna be black. The black ink instead of white ink. So pretty excited about that. Just trying to do something different.
Are you gonna have those in like fat girl sizes?
The Racerbacks.
Like a men's double XL, maybe?
Not in the Racerbacks, but I do have I do have tank tops in the men's that are like unisex. I guess they shouldn't be. They're unisex tanks. One's black and one's red.
Ooh.
I do have those and 2X.
Okay. I like a good tank.
I
we
love
just-
them. They're my. What'd you say?
I was just saying we posted the link in the chat for everybody to go hit you up on Instagram. So go ahead and hit up Chuck on Instagram. Let him know what you're interested in. He'll let you know when the new merch hits the store.
We're trying to do different things. We're trying to do everything that I possibly can think of. I think I told Chris this. If I could put our logo on condoms and sell them, I'll do that too.
He did tell me that.
I will,
Me.
and I mean every bit of it. If somebody knows a condom manufacturer, I will do it.
I bet you can. I bet there's a way to. I bet you can do it. I bet you can.
I will try to. And like, I'm not trying to be gross about it. I'm being dead serious. I will promote safe sex and condoms. I will sell anything. I don't care. We did just come out with a new shirt. I know it was at the collective, the Pride shirt. I don't know how many people. I mean, I think you saw them.
I saw a ton of people wearing them.
Yeah.
Nina's promoting them in the chat right now that we still have a limited number of Pride shirts left.
She sent me a couple for this weekend. So I'm hoping that we can sell all of those. She sent weird sizes, but she did send me all of them. She sent me sizes for sure. I need to lose weight or what with these sizes? What are you doing to me, Nina?
All right. Well, again, hit them up on Instagram. Keep an eye out for the new apparel. Sounds pretty exciting. I'm really into the hats. If I didn't have such a big head, I got to get you guys to make a stretch fit for me so I can not have to live on that last rung of the hat there.
Yeah, for sure. Low man, just hit me up. I'll figure something out for sure.
Awesome. All right, last question from the chat. Last question from VIP Vic. It is a staple question, and it's very fitting as the last time we're going to be on Twitch. We end the questions from the chat on this question from Vic. Chuck, in your opinion, who in wrestling has the best gear of all time?
Ooh. So I'm just gonna go with, like, I'm a huge mark for Sting and Bash at the Beach Sting, where red, white, and blue face paint beat Flair for the belt. I've got that tattooed on my leg. So that's gonna be always my go-to.
Awesome. Those were the questions from chat. Thank you guys for the questions, or I should say thank you, Vic, for the questions. Thank everybody else for hanging out also. Chuck, there's only one more question I have for you. Are you ready for the lightning round?
I am super ready.
All right. 10 questions. Try not to think about it too hard. Just the first thing that pops into your head. I'm running the intro right now. There's lightning and thunder. You probably don't hear it because you have actual thunder going on.
Yes.
So it'll be done in a second. We'll bring everybody back, and we're back, and here we go. 10 questions. Number 1, texting or talking?
Talking.
Number 2, what would the name of your autobiography be?
I have made a lot of dumbass decisions.
Number 3, how many hours of sleep do you need?
I get 4 or 5. So I guess that's the answer. But to actual function, I only need like 2.
Number 4, invisibility or super strength?
Invisibility. That way I can look at my wife naked and she doesn't know I'm standing there.
Number 5, cake or pie?
Pie.
Number 6, would you rather be able to speak every language in the world or be able to talk to animals?
Speak every language in the world.
Number 7, when the zombie apocalypse starts, what wrestler would you want on your team?
Oh, that's a good question. This Akira. He's the fucking Death Samurai.
Yeah. Number 8, socks and sandals. Yes?
No.
Number 9, and I was looking forward to this one the whole time. Fill in the blank. Taylor Swift is
Horrible.
Number 10, one of my favorite questions of the lightning round. Is it wrong for a vegetarian to eat animal crackers?
I am puzzled. I don't even know how they're made. Aren't they made with butter? Like if they're made with butter, yes. Because that is definitely an animal product. That is very wrong.
See, that's the smartest answer I've heard to that question.
Well, if you're vegetarian, you can still eat butter. You just can't eat like meat. A lot of times they'll eat products made from animals. Now, if you're vegan, that's a different story.
Vegan. Yeah, that's different. See, I eat meat, so I don't know any of those questions.
I don't either. Like I
like meat. That was the lightning round.
Yeah, so do
Chuck, you survived. Well done, my friend. Congratulations. The very last lightning round on Twitch, you succeeded. Val, back to you.
That was a truly delightful lightning round. You handled it so well. Many kudos to you.
The last question just stumped me. I've never thought about that.
Well, we're almost done, but I want people to be able to find you. So where can people find Wrestling Over Everything? Feel free to plug anything. Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, OnlyFans, TikTok, whatever y'all got.
I'm getting an OnlyFans just because you told me I needed one.
I mean,
I heard you don't backtrack. You said, Chuck, you need an OnlyFans site. And it's going to be pictures of my feet with stickers of Wrestling Over Everything on them. Anyway.
You would make so much money, dog.
Look, I am so for it. I am so for it.
Make that money.
I'm all for it. So we have wrestlingovereverything.com. It should have links on it to all of our social media. I don't think it has everything, but we also have Twitter, which is at @wrestling_over. Facebook is Wrestling Over Everything. Instagram is Wrestling Over Everything Apparel. YouTube is Wrestling Over Everything, where we do videos and stuff of our travels, and I do like a kind of like this, but it's not like it's I try to make it as short as possible because I only have 2 questions that I ask, and so I try to make it, but they always end up being 30 minutes long because I once I start talking about stuff, I don't shut up. And then TikTok, which I'm not active on because I don't know enough about TikTok. My kid told me I needed one, and he said he was going to run it, and he was falling short of his responsibility. It is Wrestling Over Everything. We have a video of Athena and Akira on it, and I've had it for like 2 months, and I put it through the video. So I don't do anything on it. He needs to step up his game. Also, we have sponsored athletes. August Artois, JD Jenkins, the Heat Seekers, John Davis, Anthony Henry, Amaris Blair, Jared Fritz, Alexander Gold, Stunt Marshall, Savannah Evans, Masha Slamovich, Colby Carino, Akira, and this new rising star from Arizona. Her name is Brittany Brooks. She's like 17. She's been in wrestling. She started wrestling like in the past year. Super dope. Like, and so there, she's new to the team. I hadn't released that anywhere, so I'm releasing it now. That Akira and Brittany are both sponsored athletes. I'm just waiting on my friend to get back from Nashville to make the graphics. So since I just told everybody, I guess I told everybody here.
The Stack exclusive. Hell yeah.
So we're and like there's countless of people that are friends of ours that rock our stuff, and I appreciate all of them. Thank you for letting us on here. I don't know if it was you or Chris, but I'm gonna give you all the credit. Chris is the worst sometimes, all the time. I'm just kidding. I love you, Chris. But thank y'all for letting us be on here. I had a blast.
Yeah, it was good talking with you. I wish I would have talked to you in Dallas, but can't go back now. Can only do better moving forward. If I happen to ever see you again, I will be sure to stare awkwardly at you until you yell at me.
And then we're gonna hug.
Hell yeah, we're gonna hug. I'm a hugger.
I'm a hugger too.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you so much for being on tonight. It's been an absolute blast. Everybody be sure to check out Wrestling Over Everything everywhere. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. I'm glad that we were able to get your weather situated and that we didn't have to interrupt it due to a tornado. That would have been really not a good time for either of us. So chat, thank you for joining us here on Twitch. Be sure to join us next week, same stack time. New stack place will be over on the Action Wrestling YouTube, and I will have the Skulk on. So that should be entertaining, if nothing else.
Oh yeah. Dope human being.
I've never met them, so it will be new to me.
At GW at Mania Week. Super nice.
That is good to know. So everyone be sure to join us there next week. We'll be tweeting about it. Just, I never stop tweeting. So you'll see it eventually come across your timeline. If you follow me on Twitter, or if you don't follow me on Twitter, you will see it regardless. I'm pretty sure everyone sees everything I say. So
I guess I forgot this. Amber Young, Anthony's wife, she's a sponsored athlete too. I didn't mean not to leave her out. It was just in my head. I was like, Anthony, Henry, her, they're together. Like it's just one person in my head. So I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, Amber. Please don't be.
Be sure to watch Amber beat up Chuck at some point. And thanks everybody for sticking with us tonight. Thank you, Chuck, for hanging out with me.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.